Good afternoon, all of you. Today's topic is GIS in facilities management, the role of the geographic information system in the management of the different types of the facilities, like utility facilities or network facilities or the infrastructure facilities and so on. So, the GIS is a technology or it is a basically tool which is basically computer based system and used for the data collection and data manipulation, data analysis and data visualizations. So, the problems related to the facilities, all kind of the facilities which are available in the city or in a country, all types of the facilities we can manage and we can analyze very easily with the help of the geographic information systems. So, this is a very potential tool which can be which can handle all the types of the facilities in a better way. For example, if you are talking about the network facilities which are available in the cities like pipeline network or gas pipeline network, road networks or railway networks or canal networks, drainage networks, all types of the facilities or settlements or banks and all types of the facilities we can manage in GIS systems very easily. So, here I have shown some fields, important fields of the applications of the GIS where we can use like the transportations. So, transportation is of three types basically. One is the land transportation, air transportation and space transportation. So, in all these transportations we can use the GIS. In case of the let us say land transportation, you can use in the road transportation, highway transportation or railway transportation or even the water transportations. So, there are so many problems related to road networks like if you want to find out the closest path between the two locations or more than two locations, then you can find out very easily with the help of the GIS tool. Similarly, if you want to use this technology for the emergency purposes like you want to calculate or you want to find out the closest facility available in the city, so those facilities you can find out with from a random accident spot or from a required location in a very short time or in a very travel distance like that. Same way if some facilities are available in the city, so you can also decide the service area of those facilities. For example, if in a particular city 5 police stations are there and the whole area should be served by those police stations, so you can divide the service area for each and every police stations equally with the help of the GIS technology. Same way in business purpose we can use the GIS technology like suppose there are so many traveling salesman problems or vehicle routing problems. So, these types of the problems we can also use the GIS technology. For example, for business purpose, suppose you want to distribute some goods or material from the distribution center to individual households or you want to deliver some goods from the particular shops to individual households. So, you want to search the closest route or optimal route from those distribution centers to individual store locations, keeping in mind so many constraints or real time constraints which are related to the particular network or infrastructure of the city. So, keeping all those things in mind, you can find out the route or optimal route from distribution center to individual store locations and other things you can also consider. Same way in emergency services, these emergency services I already explained in transportation things, and water services like in a particular city there is a water pipeline network. So, you can decide the water pipelines and their capacities and how much flow is possible through a particular network and how we can manage those pipelines from one place to another place or depending upon your requirement. So, all these things you can manage in GIS systems or you can plan in a way like the maximum flow is possible from the water tank to individual consumers. Same way the navigation services like suppose you want to track something, you want to track some moving particles or moving objects like tracking of the vehicles or tracking of air vehicles. So all these things are also possible with the help of the GIS technology. And postal services is like in a particular city there are so many post offices. Now there is a postman who wants to deliver the letters from the post office to individual individual households. So there is a need to find out a optimal route. Actually the postman wants to cover each and every street, so street to deliver the letters or the other material from the post office to individual household. So he wants to search a optimal route. So in this case you might be heard about the Chinese postman problem. So those types of the problems you can easily handle in the GIS systems. Actually GIS is a technology which deals with the development of the tool. Or development tool is nothing but suppose you have some problems, those problems you can convert into mathematical equations, and those mathematical equations you can program it very easily using the programming languages, and you can combine in a package, and that package is basically the tools, and using these tools in reverse way you can solve that particular problem. So suppose you are handling the problem of the postman, so try to understand what kind of the problems are there, convert into equations with certain constraints, and then program it and develop the tool. So with the help of these tools you can find out the solution of the respective problems. Same way in the environmental services, if you want to monitor the environmental changes from one place to another place. So again what you can do, you can collect the data of the different parameters like temperature or pressure or humidity and so on, and all these things you can put into a model, and you can predict something, what is the future scenario of a particular location or a particular region. So these types of the analysis you can easily handle in GIS systems. Same way in the banking systems, suppose you want to locate some ATMs or banks in a particular area. So with the help of the GIS technology, or with the help of tools, spatial tools, you can easily identify the suitable sites for the location of the ATMs as well as the banks. So optimally you can find out the location, and these types of the analysis is very much useful in the banking sector. Similarly in military purpose, this is very confidential also. Suppose some boundary issues are there, and some secret data sets are required, or so high resolution data sets are available, and using some tools you can also handle the problems of the military. Same way the healthcare, you might be heard about the teleeducation and telemedicine. So telemedicine is this healthcare facilities are also available, or these types of the the famous branch of GIS is that is called the health GIS. So in health GIS we can also analyze a particular disease and spread of this disease in a particular region, or from one region to another region. So these types of the analysis we can do in GIS. Similarly, the climate change, federal, states and local governments problems, and many more organizations you can handle with the help of GIS. Now here we will discuss this GIS infrastructures. So infrastructures may be related to your transportation, or maybe energy infrastructures, water management, communication, or solid waste management, or earth monitoring and measurement networks. So all these types of the infrastructures you can easily manage in GIS system. So GIS system is basically a system which stores all types of the data in the form of the spatial, or in terms of the coordinates as well as the attribute data. So whatever the infrastructure is there, you can store these infrastructure spatially as well as non-spatially in GIS systems. So spatially means you can digitize all types of the infrastructure in the form of the point, line and polygons. So this is basically called the spatial data, and whatever the attribute information is there, you can store in the attribute tables, and whenever it required you can perform some queries over this data, you can analyze something depending upon your requirement, what types of the things you want. So those types of the analysis you can perform very easily on these types of the infrastructures. So there are basically two types of the infrastructure, one is hard infrastructure, another one is soft infrastructure. Soft in the sense like institutional infrastructure, some softwares are required, or industrial infrastructure, social infrastructure, cultural and sport recreational infrastructure, these are comes under the category of the soft infrastructure. Hard are these hard infrastructures are transportation, energy, water, communication, solid waste management and earth monitoring infrastructures. Now I will show you some examples of these types of the infrastructures, like transportation infrastructure, like road and highway networks, railway networks, canal and navigation, navigable waterways, airports, mass transit systems, bicycle path and pedestrian walks, ferries, all are these basically the transportation infrastructures. So all these types of the things you can manage in GIS systems in a better way. Suppose if you want to construct the roads in a particular area, so you can manage or you can plan all those roads in computer system first, and then later on you can implement on the ground. Same way you can do for the railway networks or canal networks or ferries, etc. So these types of the management things you can very easily handle in GIS systems. And in later stage you can also analyze all those infrastructures, like some problems which are related to the networks or these road networks, you can analyze the problems related with the canal networks. So you can also analyze like how much discharge is there, how much flow is there, and what is the water capacity. So all those things you can analyze very easily, and tools are available in the GIS systems. Like actually these all types of the transportation infrastructures are basically divided into two categories. One is called the transportation, another one is called the utility network. So utility networks you can handle very easily with the help of the geometric networks in GIS software, and this transportation network you can handle with the help of the network data sets in ArcGIS software. So whatever the problems are there, and the corresponding tools are available in the GIS software, and you can analyze and you can find out the solution of the respective problems. Same with the energy infrastructures, like if you are talking about this transmission line networks, so or petroleum products. So these types of the managements are also possible in GIS systems, like electrical power networks. Suppose you want to plan a transmission line from powerhouse to another factories. So which path is suitable, and where are the suitable location for the constructions of the poles. So these types of the things, and what is the effect of these high tensions around the lines, and what is the effects on the earth or on the crops or on a particular settlement. So these types of the analysis you can easily done in the GIS system. Similarly, the natural gas pipeline networks. So pipeline network comes under the utility network. So these types of the problems are also possible. Petroleum pipelines, coal mines, you can identify this the coal mines with the help of the GIS system and remote sensing systems. Then water management system, that this is also very crucial thing when this water management is required, like pipeline network or some flood is there or some ice is there. So how we can manage in a better way. So these types of the modeling processes are also possible in GIS systems. Similarly, the communication infrastructures, suppose you want to put some the telephone lines or landlines, and then how much connections are possible from a particular junction, and from particular junction how many consumers or customers are possible to connect, and what is their spread, and what is the expenditure, and so on. So all these things we can manage very easily. Solid waste management is another important topic. So suppose in a particular city there are so many dumping yards. So you want to manage the garbage on a particular location or from so many small locations like CP or DP. So from all those CP DP you can collect these garbages using some vehicles, and you can put on a dumping yards. So how you can manage in a better way, or how we can plan, suppose one vehicle is moving from one location and it is collecting some garbage, and it is moving to another location again collecting some garbage, and another way another location, and this way they are planning to collect all the garbages in a particular sector and then finally putting into the dumping yards. So these types of the managements are very important and very good for the health, and this solid waste management you can do in GIS, and this types of the problem is similar to the postman problem, because whatever the algorithms we are using for the solution of the postman problems, the same algorithm is applicable for the solid waste management in a particular city. Because basically if you think, then the requirement of these municipalities officials to collect these garbage from the different locations and the requirement of the postman more or less same. So the same algorithm is working on both the problems. So the same tool is applicable for both types of the problems, and you can find out the solutions. Earth monitoring and measurement networks, these are very crucial, and you can manage all types of the facilities whatever the available on the ground. You can manage in 3D structures or 2D structures through communication networks or electronics or on the ground. So all these facilities. Then institutional space structures like banking sectors or some monuments. If you want to put some new innovative things, you want to add something, or you want to create some new buildings, so these types of the things are possible. And industrial infrastructures, so the construction of the new buildings, you can create all these models in GIS, whether it is 2D or 3D, and you can also move inside the buildings, that is also called the 3D innovative or moving models. So those things you can create in the GIS systems, and same way the same thing is applicable for the agriculture and other allied sectors of agriculture, forestry and fisheries. So in all those things, in all those areas we can implement the GIS technology, and we can solve the problem associated with these infrastructures. Then social infrastructure like healthcare systems. Healthcare means, suppose in a country few expert doctors are there, and the same thing they can means these expert doctors can serve to a remote locations through the GIS systems. So they can guide the doctors of that place, and accordingly they can manage and they can serve to the patients. And educational and research system, same way that is the healthcare system is basically telemedicine, and educational research systems tele-educations, and social welfare systems. So these types of the facilities we can manage. Cultural and sport recreations, all these types of the models and the facilities we can manage very easily. Then 3D is basically the extended forms of the 2D. So here basically the third information is also available, the information of the third dimension is also available, and this thing is also possible for the CAD as well as the Google. And uses of the 3D, you can see here we can manage the 3D roads or trees or infrastructures for the better visualization. Same way here we can create some thematic mapping of a particular city. We can create some the colonies and roads and trees, land use, land cover. If, all types of the mapping is possible in 3D in GIS basically. Noise analysis, suppose in a particular city the vehicular movement is there, so noise pollution is there. So what is the effect of those noise on the buildings and hence on the human beings. So, these types of the modeling is also going on. So, you can very easily identify how much effect is there on the human beings of these vehicular emissions. Then flood simulations. So, like what is the rise in flood and like tsunamis and all those things you can analyze in GIS systems using the multi-criteria algorithms, and then understanding the utility modeling. You can create the 3D models like pipelines, trees, or 3D buildings, or pathways, etc. Then role of the GIS in transportation management. I already told you the major role of GIS is in transportation systems. Those are intelligent transportation systems, whether it is railway network or the highway networks or the road networks, and whatever the management is there in hardware or software. And GIS models used in transportation. So, these models are basically transportation as well as the utilities. Then network, if you think, so network is basically a type of a system of the interconnected features. So, those features may represent the road, those features may represent to the transmission line or water bodies or the railway network or pipeline network or transmission line networks. So, all these things are networks and all those things you can represent in the form of the point and line features in GIS systems. And these types of the features you can create and you can add it in the GIS system very easily. So, whatever the system you are generating with the help of the point and line features, that is basically called the network, and that should have some physical appearance, or you cannot say like the meridians or parallels are the line features, but they do not have any real significance. Real significance means they do not have some physical dimensions. That is why we are not considering those as a line features, but whatever the features are there on the ground which we can represent in the form of the line or point features. So, the collection of all those things is basically called the network. So, the network you can also compare as a graph of the graph theory. So, this is a similar to the graph, and this is analysis. Network analysis is basically the process of solving a problem which is involving the networks. The network may be of any type, whether utility network or transportation networks. But here main objective is how we can minimize the total transportation cost and how we can save money. So, money is very important. So, objective is how we can minimize the total cost, and also how we can solve the connected networks. Connectivity is also important, connectivity and mobility of the resources. So, this is models. Model is basically different types of the elements are there in GIS, like links. So, links are basically those locations or line features or branches or edges. These are basically called the links through which the resources flow. So, the main attributes of the links are basically impedance and resource demand. So, for example, on a particular road some vehicles are moving. So, these vehicles are known as the resource, and whatever the restrictions are there in the movement of the vehicles, that is basically called the impedance. So, that restrictions may be with respect to distance or may be with respect to travel time. So, these types of the impedances are there. So, depending upon these types of the impedances like travel time or travel distance, this impedance is of two types. Like from to impedance, to from impedance, or this or you can say, if suppose this is impedance is a factor and the unit of this factor is basically the unit of the time or unit of the distance, and this impedance factor is generally positive in case of the transportation network. If this negative impedance basically prevents the movement of the resources over that particular link. So, this impedance is positive in transportation network. This may be from to, or you can define this impedance factor over a road in both the directions, like from to direction or to from directions. So, now the second attribute is, or second element is turns. Turns are also important because at every junction we want to take the left turn or right turn or U turn, or we want to go straight. So, again they are basically connecting the one link to the another link, or resources are flowing from one link to another link through turns. So, turns are again having the two types of the attributes. One is the impedance. When you are moving on the turns, then again there is some restriction. That restriction is nothing but the impedance. And again the angle is basically, it will decide you are moving on the left or on the right, or you are going straight or you are coming back, that is U turn. And then stops are basically locations where some resources are picked up or dropped off of a particular network. Then facilities points are those infrastructure facilities, basically like ATM locations or hospitals or police stations or fire stations or warehouses, distribution centers, all are these basically facility points. These are also called the centers, or basically the facilities are the locations from where the resources are picking up or resources are starting. And then blocks are again those locations which are basically prevent the movement of the resources for a particular time period or a particular duration. And nodes are again the locations or locations, or you can say that these are also called the vertices or junction or points, zero cell or zero simplex. So, these nodes are basically connecting the one line feature to another line feature, or one point feature to another point line feature, or one line feature to another line feature. So, impedance is again is of three types, that is from to or to from impedance, unidirectional or bidirectional impedance. Suppose road is one way, then it is unidirectional impedance. If it is two way, then bidirectional impedance. Positive or negative impedance prevents the movement, generally it is positive impedance. And then question is, what is the unit of the impedance? So, it is simple, basically if you are representing the impedance in terms of the travel time, then the unit of the impedance is the unit of the travel time, that is the unit of the time. If you are representing the impedance in terms of the travel distance, then in that case the unit of the impedance is the unit of the distance. So, from this networking basically we can find out these types of the solutions, like direct path analysis. Direct path means from one location to another location. Optimal routing, that is basically the routing with minimum impedance or optimal impedance. That impedance may be distance or time, but direct path analysis or shortest path analysis is basically the path of the shortest distance, but optimal is the path of the minimum impedance or minimum cost. Similarly, the closest facility analysis, from random accident spot you can find out the closest hospitals or police stations or fire stations within a cutoff value of the time or distance. Similarly, the drive time analysis, from one location to another location, how much time is required and in which and how much distance or distance is there. And then driving directions, you suppose a particular route, there are different types of the turns, left turn, right turn, and go to straight and U turn, something like that. So, what is the proper directions from the starting point to the end point in a particular route? So, these types of the analysis is also possible in GIS. Origin destination cost matrix analysis is also possible in GIS. Model for the route analysis you can perform very easily. Service area analysis in a particular city, if you want to divide this whole area into certain segments or certain form, so these types of the analysis is also possible. So, in all those analysis, cost factor is important. Thank you very much.